Good morning, guys. So yesterday we have discussed something related to the custom objects, standard objects, and custom fields, standard fields, how the tabs need to be created, how to operate with the data in the particular custom object. Okay, so let's today discuss some different concepts like as dependencies, and second one is relationships, third auto number fields, and then fourth one is Rollup summary fields. Okay, so let's see what is dependency. Yesterday the requirement was like this. When I'm trying to create a new employee, then the sports should be based on this department. So if I select the .NET, the related sports should be filtered and should come up with here. And if I select Java, so something new value should be. So the value should be different based on the selected department. That's why we were discussing yesterday, and that's called as field dependency. So why it is called field dependency? These values are dependent of the value when we select on the department. Okay, so how to create the dependency? Go to the object, there you can see the field dependencies. So click on the field dependencies, click new, and here we have two concepts. One is controlling field and another one is dependent field. So when we see that, we have lot of type of fields here, lots of type of fields. Say that we have formula field and then checkbox, currency, date, lot of things are there, right? But the controlling field should always be a checkbox or pick list. So that means a checkbox can be a controlling field or a pick list may be a controlling field, and the dependent field must be pick list or multi-select. It means the controlling field may be checkbox or pick list, and then dependent field should always be multi-select. Okay, multi-select or pick list. Pick list means only single value can be selected. That's called as a drop down, and this is multi-select. Okay, so we are selecting the controlling field as department and dependent field as sports. Just click on continue. In this one, what we have to do is for .NET, when we select the .NET on the department, what are the values need to be added? You just click on them, control and select whatever you need, and then after for Java, what are the values it has to be displayed? Sorry. You just put control and add the things. Okay, after that you just include the values, press on include values, then click on save. And if you want, you can see the preview as well, how it will be. Once include, just click on preview, it opens a box. When you click on .NET, these are the values will be displayed. However, see cricket, chess, football and sports. Okay, the same way when you select Java, and then cricket, volleyball, baseball, kabaddi are selected, and then when we select the Python, then these are the sports are displaying here. We just click on save. Now you just click on new. Now see that the .NET is by default is selected, so the values are here. Okay, and when you select Java, the values will be different, and when you select Python, these are the dependency values. Okay, now you can select and click on save. Okay, So this is how the dependency need to be defined on the objects. Okay, and on the dependency we have some conditions. What are the conditions? We have controlling field and second one is dependent field. Controlling field should always be a checkbox or pick list. Dependent field must be a pick list or multi-select. Okay, this is only thing. And here one more important point is, so if you create a pick list value on accounts, let's say we have standard objects, right? On standard objects, if you create any checkbox or any pick list or something, then we might have some standard pick list values, right? When you say that account, you can see that pick list, ownership is pick list, and then we have rating is pick list. Okay, we have lot of things, right? So these pick list values can be cannot be a dependent. Standard pick list always be a controlling field, cannot be a dependent. Okay, that's one thing. Just a second. That's about the field dependency. Okay, and next thing is I have employee object. Okay, employee should be related to one company, right? Okay, so for that what I'm trying to do is, let me create one more table, or in Salesforce terms we can say that object. I'm going to create one object called as company. Okay, company, or okay, companies I've selected. Okay, now here just allow search. Okay, here if you see that, here there is a checkbox called launch new custom tab wizard after saving the subject. So we know that if you want to deal with the data of a particular object, we should have a tab from the user interface. Then only you can add the data, you can edit the data, or you can delete the data, right? For that, this one is, if you check this checkbox, what happens is, once the object is created, then automatically it redirects to a tab page where we can create a tab for this custom object directly without going to other one. See that object is created and then it goes to the next. Say, okay, and let's say that, let me create one more object called as, say, one employee can have another feature called as let's say university. One employee might be as a won't be there for university. Okay, universities. Okay, here so here I have created two custom objects. One is university and second one is company. Okay, let's go to the employee object. In this employee object, let's create one relationship called as, we have mainly two types of relationships in Salesforce. One is lookup relationship and second one is master detail relationship. Okay, and we have some external lookup as well. Apart from that, we have hierarchical relationship, and we can say that self relationship. Self relationship. So these are the types of relationships we have in Salesforce. Let's see that what is lookup relationship. So lookup relationship is not a mandatory field. Let's say if you see any record we are trying to add or something, when you click on new, so one field is mandatory, right? Let's create one relationship called as lookup. For each and every employee, the university is not required, right? So that's why we're just creating a lookup relationship to the. So what you have to do is first you need to click on new field, then select the lookup relationship. Next, lookup relationship. So before going to into this, let's discuss what is the relationship. Linking the data between two objects are called as relationship. Okay, one table to another table. If you have a relationship, then it's called. If you have a link, then it's called as a relationship. Okay, so normally in the traditional applications like as database or something, we have different types of relationships called as one to one, one to many, many to one, and other thing. Okay, but in Salesforce, we have two types of relationship, mainly lookup relationship and master detail relationship. These are types of many to many. Okay, so the lookup relationship is when you select this type of relationship, you have to select the object to link that. It means you are giving the link between this table to another table. The same way, you have to select the object. What is the object? Let's say university. Next. So we have this option here required. When you make it required, it will be mandatory. But here, there is not the functionality. You're just giving blank and then click on next. Next. Save. Now, let's see that I have university. Here it's showing some search functionality button, right? This is called as lookup icon. Okay, lookup means you are trying to search the data in different object, that's called as university. Okay, so we have not created any records in this object, so it's not showing anything. Let's create one of the records into this. Universities. Let's say I'm creating SV University. And if you click on save and new, it saves the record and it comes back again to enter the new record value. Now let's create a new employee, and if you search for the data, it shows the records here. Okay, that's the lookup relationship, but here it is not mandatory. Okay, you can enter just employee name, just click on save. This will be saved. Okay, there is no restriction that you should have uh, the field value while creating a lookup relationship. Okay, but let's create one more relationship called as master detail relationship with the company. So one employee means if he is an employee, then he should be related to any one of the company, right? So it's a master detail value. Let's select the company. Okay, but here there is a condition that you are trying to create a master detail relationship on object, right? So on the object we have already records, employee records are already there, right? Let's say that you have some records on this employee object. Three records are there. If you have the existing records on particular object, you cannot create a master detail relationship. Okay, let's see that. I'm going to trying to create a master detail relationship on company. Okay, click on next. It will show the error message. See here, you cannot create a new master detail relationship on existing object if the records already exist. So on this particular employee object we have some records, so we cannot create a master detail relationship directly. Okay, it will come, don't worry, we have a lot of differences. Okay, so here first we need to create a lookup relationship, then we have to convert it into the master detail relationship. Let's create the same like that. What I'm trying to do is, if there are no records on the particular object, you can directly create the master detail relationship. Okay, you can try that, you don't need to worry about that. Let me create this master detail relationship and click on next. Here, back, previous. First we need to select lookup relationship. It means the alternative solution is you have to create a lookup relationship first to the same object. Okay, because the value is not mandatory in this lookup relationship, so it will be created. In the master detail relationship, the value will always be mandatory. So that for the existing records there will be no value if you create a master detail relationship. That's why it is throwing the exception, or let's say error, that you cannot create a master detail relationship if the objects are already, if the records are already exist on the particular object. Okay, that's why first we need to create a lookup relationship, then click on save. Now what you have to do is you have to populate the values on this particular values. Let's say I have companies. Let's select add some records Sony. I have three records. For these employees records, you need to populate first the values. Let's say Accenture. It means for all the records you need to add the value for this particular company field. Okay, let's save this. Now you can see the employees with all the values. Okay, so here only we are displaying only some one field only, right? So you can have the different fields. I'll explain that later. But for now, we know that we have three records, and the three records we have the value on this company field, right? So company field we have this. Okay, so now let's convert the same object information, I mean same lookup relationship into master data relationship. This is only right. Company, we have this one. We'll just edit, then click change field type, click on master detail relationship, then click next, save. So now when you are trying to create a new object, okay, this company field is mandatory. Why the company field is mandatory? Because this is a master detail relationship. Okay, now let's enter, let's take one company like as Sony, and then MP1 university. It's optional, but I'm giving this save. Okay, if you click on this particular object, I mean record, it goes here. Under the company Sony, we have two records. Okay, now what happens if I delete a Sony? Okay, let me see one more thing. An employee of record, we have university called as, okay, and this one we have university called as OU, right? If I delete OU, this is a, so here university is a lookup relationship, company is a master detail relationship. If I delete the master record in this lookup relationship, let's say if I delete the OU, what happens is, and that particular value will be empty. Okay, if I delete a master value or master record in the lookup relationship, then the child records, let's say that this is the child record, the employee is child record. Okay, then that value will become null, or let's say empty. But if you delete a master record in the this master detail relationship, in the master detail relationship, if you delete this, let's say I have employee object as well, I am deleting the master record, let's say Sony, this one. Now if you see that the record is deleted, it means in the lookup relationship or master detail relationship there is a concept called as master and child, right? So here child is employee, okay, employee is the child, and master, or one is company and second one is university. Okay, there are two relationships, master detail and lookup relationship. What happened when you delete a university field or when you delete a university record, the field value in the child will become empty. But when you delete a master record in the master detail relationship, then the child records will be deleted. Okay, this is what we observed just now. Okay, when you delete a master in a master detail relationship, then the childs will be deleted. If you delete a master record in the lookup relationship, then the specified value will become empty. That's all. Okay, and once it is deleted, if you undelete the parent, let's say Sony is there. Sony is, it means it's the company information. If you undelete the company, then what happens is automatically the relevant childs also will get undeleted. Go to Sony, and here the fields are also undeleted. It means when you restore the particular value in the master record, I mean when you restore the master record in the master detail relationship, automatically the childs also will get restored. Very simple. In the master detail, master is deleted, childs will be deleted. If you undelete master, again childs also will, children also will be restored. Okay, so in the lookup relationship, if you delete a master, there is no effect on the child, but value will become empty. That's all. Okay, that's it. That is the major difference on this, and we have lot of other things as well, like as if you see that. Okay, and the first important difference is when you compare with lookup and master, lookup value is not mandatory, master value is mandatory. So if the records are already exist on the particular object, you can't create a master detail relationship, but you can create a lookup relationship. Okay, so then what is the alternative? You have to create a lookup relationship first, then populate all the values, then convert into master detail, right? And then when you delete a master record in the master detail relationship, children also will get deleted. But when you delete a master in the lookup relationship, there is no effect on the child, but the value will become null. Okay, that's it. And we have some other things as well. Roll-up summary fields, another thing. I'll discuss that. Okay, so there is a field called as auto number, right? What is auto number? Okay, so for the particular employee, there will be a number, right? Every employee should have a number. Okay, that should be particular number should be there. For that, I'm creating a number. I'm creating a field called as I selected a auto number. Okay, auto number means it which will be generated by the system by default. Okay, when a new record is created, then automatically a number will be generated. That's called auto number. Let's say I'm giving the employee number. Okay, in this employee number, we have to give the format first. What is the format we have to give? Okay, let's say if my company is Accenture, I have to give like this: ACC space hyphen space, then square brackets, and this one I have to give 0000, or let's say whatever you want, only 3 zeros. If you want, you can give that. Okay, so here whatever we have placed in this one, right, this should be the number or year or date. Okay, now here say that the employee number will be in the form of ACC space hyphen again space, then here the number. So what is the number it has to be started? Let's say 0001. The first employee should always be 0001. Then next employee will be 0002. Next employee 0003, like that. And here there is a checkbox called generate auto number for existing records. As we have the records already in this particular object, I want to generate the employee number for the existing records as well. Okay, now just click on next, next, save. So here generating auto number for existing records may take a few minutes. Just click OK and wait for some time. Okay, now see that the auto number is generated is 004. So then how it defines for this record this number should be generated, right? I have 4 records, and why the particular number is generated for this only, this user only. Okay, it means I have created employee record, clear, but for this record it is 0004, and for other records it should be some other records, right? Let's say, see here it's 002 and it was different. Okay, so how it is generated is which record was created first. For that record it will be starting number, and then whatever next it is created, that will be second number, and next it is third number, that like that it will be generated. Okay, so if you create a new record on the employee, say click on save. Now here says 0005. Okay, this will be auto number, means automatically generated based on the system and existing records. Okay, now let's see that what happens. So this one, the field is read only. You cannot edit or you cannot set a value to the auto number field. Okay, you cannot set a value for that. Okay, this is about auto number. You have to specify a particular format, which there should be a particular format to generate a number. Okay, this is about auto number. Auto number is a read-only field. You cannot edit the value. Okay, that will be generated by the system by default. Okay, you don't need to worry and you don't need to work on that. Okay, and that's one thing. So same, let me try to create one more thing. So here roll-up summary is disabled, right? So the roll-up summary fields will be enabled on master in the master detail relationship. We have two objects called as university. University is a master to the employee and it's in the lookup relationship. View object, and here also the master detail roll-up summary field will be disabled because it's a master but it's not in the master detail relationship. And when you go to the companies, so company is the master in the master detail relationship with employee, right? Click on new, the roll-up summary fields are enabled. Okay, the another difference between the lookup and master detail is you cannot create a rollup summary field on the lookup relationship, and on the master detail relationship we can enable the rollup summary fields. Then what is a rollup summary field? Okay, rollup summary field is nothing but the aggregate functions on the child record. Let's say I have a company. Under one company I can have number of employees, right? So if I want to perform aggregate functions like as minimum, maximum, sum and count, then I can create a rollup summary field on the master object in the master detail relationship. Okay, let's create next. Here I want to count the number of employees. Let's say that number of employees. Click next. Here I told you that, right? So we can perform the aggregate functions on child records. Okay, so I have only one employee. Here I can create this and then click count. Count means how many employee records are there. That count will be displayed in this particular record on the master. Okay, and then sum. If you want to, let's say employee is having salary. If you want to sum them, then you can just click on that and then you can select the number field or currency field. Okay, even yes, for that particular company only. Let's say if I have Sony company, in that Sony company, if I have 1,000 records and the employees, 1,000 employees are, it like if I make sum, then all employees salary will be sum here and it shows that. Okay, and even minimum or maximum, if you want to show the minimum salary of a particular employee, then you can select here. Then you can select maximum employee as well. So once you make sum, min, max, you have to select here. So the thing is it will be create date, time or currency field or number field, can be minimum, maximum or other things. Okay, here I'm selecting the count. Count means number of employees are there in the particular company. Click next. So now just see that, let's go to the one of the company, and in this company records Accenture, Sony, Nata. See, this is 3. We have 3 records on the Accenture, so that it shows the number of employees is 3. Okay, if we see that Sony, we have 2 records, it's showing that 2. Okay, as well as if I see the NetApp, there are no employees, so it's showing that 0. Okay, this is about the roll-up summary field. And one more thing, roll-up summary field is also read-only field. Okay, you cannot edit the or you cannot set the value to these roll-up summary fields. Roll-up summary fields are calculated by the system itself. You cannot edit the value on this roll-up summary field. Okay, and this is about roll-up summary field. Roll-up summary fields are used to perform the aggregate functions like as count, min, max and sum on the child records. Okay, so the roll-up summary fields are enabled only on the master in the master detail relationship. Clear? Let's say if I have employee 2 and here once the company is selected, I'm not able to edit. Let's say if the university I have selected, and save this. Now again I can change the university to some different value, right? But the same way you cannot edit the company value, right? So this is logged. Okay, so where the setting will be there here, and this particular relationship field, go there, and here you can see that child records can be reparented to other parent records after they created. If you check this checkbox, allow reparenting, if you check this checkbox, then you can edit employee record and you can change the company name as well. So this is important one. If you make allow reparenting, then only you can change the master value in the child in the case of master detail relationship. If it is not checked, then it cannot be accessed or you cannot edit that value on that. Okay, this is one thing. And so these are the major differences in the relationships. We have a lot of differences in this. That's related to the sharing and other thing that will come later. But let me show that as well. If you see here, we have a lot of differences. First thing is field is not mandatory in the child record, right? And field is mandatory in the case of master detail. So it's loosely coupled and it's tightly coupled. The difference is the same it is. Loosely coupled means if you don't have the value also you can save your record in the child. But tightly coupled means you should enter a value in this one. It's mandatory. So no cascading delete and cascading delete. What is cascading delete means? If you delete a parent, then child also will get deleted. That's called cascading delete. It means in the case of master detail, if you delete a master, then automatically childs will also get deleted. So that it's a cascading delete. In the case of lookup, there is no change on that, no cascade delete. And ownership is independent. So this is in the case of sharing. I'll explain it later, don't worry. And then roll-up summary fields are not available in the lookup relationship, right, on the master. But roll-up summary fields are enabled on master in the case of master detail relationship. We just now created that. Okay, you can create a lookup relationship even though if you have records in the particular object, but you cannot create a master data relationship if the records are already exist. The alternative is you have to create a lookup relationship, then you have to populate the values on that relationship field, then you can convert that into the master data relationship. That's one thing. And visibility is independent, it's also related to the sharing. I will give it later. And here one important thing is we can create two master detail relationship per object. Only two master detail relationship, not more than two. But we can create 38 lookup relationship fields. Okay, that is the major difference on that. If you create two master detail relationship, then you cannot create more than two master detail relationship per object, but you can create 38 lookup relationship fields. Or if you don't have two master detail relationship, you can create 40 relationships. Okay, maximum relationship fields are 40, and then two only allowed as a master detail and 38 are allowed lookup relationship. If you don't have two as a master detail relationship, if you don't have on the particular object, you can get 40 lookup relationships as well. Okay, that is the major difference. And there is a relationship called self relationship. We know that, right? So self relationship nothing but a relationship like as lookup, but you can create a relationship to the same object. If you say that I have employee, right? Let's say I'm creating the relationship, lookup relationship to the same object. That's called a self relationship. Okay, that's it on the relationships. Okay, in this one, let me show you one thing here. On the company object, I'm creating one field, one checkbox field called as status. Let's say active. By default is checked. I created this. And in this one, when you see the employees, here it's displaying like that, but here when you see that company records, and this company, where is the checkbox? Okay. Just a second. Company is unchecked. Status is unchecked. So when I'm trying to create a new employee, I should show the values on the particular object. Let's say company, which is active only. Okay. I want to show the active companies only. Okay. In this case, let's go to the one of the companies. Here you can create a new view here. Let's say my view I'm creating. My view, so the view means what are the fields you need to display for that. I have 1000 fields. I can select the fields whatever I need here. Company name, active, number of employees, and here visible to only me, visible only to me, other you can use. Just click on save. And now there are inactive companies only. Okay, I can edit here and click on save here itself. Okay, so now though there is only one active status record. Let me add this. If I want to if I'm creating this, if I'm creating a new employee record, then I have to show only active records only. Active companies only I have to show that. Okay, for that you have to go to that employee object. While creating a relationship fields, there is one more option here called as lookup filter. You can define here itself or while creating a field, or you can define later also. Now how to add that? Lookup filter means you are looking for a value in the different object. That's why we are calling it as a lookup, or the filter name is called as lookup filter. You can add in the master detail or lookup relationship as well. Okay, so now here what I'm trying to do is on company, if active equals the value is true, it shows like that. Okay, if the company status is true, then only I have to show that. So this is required, and make it active, then click on save. Now when you try to see the records, here it is, it's only showing active. Okay, if you make it here, if I uncheck this again, now let's see that employee, if you look, so there are two records. Okay, so you can make the same. So you have created a filter on the employee object, right? So here that related lookup filter will be displayed. It shows that there is a related lookup filter on the employee object. Okay, so you just go to this one here. If it is showing as a red mark, then it is a required filter lookup. It means the value should always match with this one. Okay, and if I make it optional, save it. So this won't be show as this one. Now even when you are trying to show that, it will open this one, okay, but there is some information to you, show all results. If you click on that, it shows all the records. Okay, you can make a filter read only, I mean you can make a filter mandatory or you can make a filter optional. Okay, if you make it mandatory, then the value which is selected should always match with the filter criteria. Okay, that's called as, yes, it should match the filter criteria. Okay, otherwise it's not mandatory. Okay, so that's about relationships, and then uh, the roll up summary fields and this one.